This video is an extra special ninja strategy on what to do after your adjustment. Now, we've talked in the past about making the most out of your care, maybe drinking extra water, going for a walk, things like that. But in this video, I want to share with you a strategy that a lot of you haven't heard of because I don't share it a lot. But here's the deal. Based on studies, when they look at the brain's activity after an adjustment, they actually see the brain's activity increases by 20% in the front of the brain, this prefrontal cortex that helps us be more unique as human beings. So what that means is that especially the first hour after you get adjusted, your brain is more open, and that means it could be susceptible to positive or negative. So the two things I recommend are after you get adjusted, or your child, your family, whatever it is, you want to be very careful about what you're feeding into your brain. You want to avoid the negative. So if you get adjusted and you go and you turn on the news and you hear all these downer stories, because your brain is more open during that time, you start to get this reinforcement of kind of a negative attitude to life even, or a negative worry or concern that something bad might happen to you or your family. So if you can watch what you're putting in negatively, bunch of screen time, not the best time to do it. Maybe scrolling through Facebook if you're seeing like some drama going on, not the best time to do it after an adjustment, because it's just going to reinforce those patterns in your brain, which reinforces them in your life. So avoiding negative means we're going to reinforce the positive after an adjustment. So some things I do personally, when I get adjusted, I know my brain is more receptive, so I might work on positive affirmations, things that I want to tell myself. So if I'm working on healthy eating, maybe I'll say, you know what, I eat healthy, nourishing foods, or I move and exercise every day to keep my body strong, fit, and active. Things that I'm working on personally, I'll reinforce after an adjustment simply by saying them out loud or in my head, because it's reinforcing that in my neurology. If there's a skill I'm working on, I've been taking Spanish lessons over the years, so I might be listening to more Spanish after an adjustment, because that hour window, I know my brain's more receptive, I'm going to get better results from it. Or in the spring, summer, fall here in Minnesota, if I'm golfing, I know that if I go to the driving range, if I go golfing afterwards, I tend to play a little bit better because my brain is processing and it's more connected to my body, and I can reinforce positive habits even more in that moment. So to apply this to yourself, keep those things in mind. If you're working on food, if you're working on exercise, if you're helping your kid and maybe they're struggling with some nervousness or anxiety, and you could pick a scenario. Maybe it's they're worried about getting on the bus. So after their adjustment, you could reinforce that the bus is safe. You know, you love going on the bus because there's lots of friends there. Or reinforce every time you get nervous, you take a deep breath and you feel calm again. Anything positive that is more solution-oriented is the perfect thing to do after an adjustment. Avoiding the negative or the problem or getting wrapped up in those drama situations, that's what you want to avoid, because it's only going to reinforce those things. So keep that in mind when you're getting adjusted for you and your family. That first hour after, the brain is more receptive, and be creative with what positive changes you want to see in your body and your life, and do them during that time.